Why won't this stupid thing work? Hey guys, Kearsten Meads here, Fisher Province Realtors. Welcome back to another episode of Figure It Out Friday. Today we're going to talk about how much below the asking price should you offer on a house. $100,000. Just kidding. Okay, but in all seriousness, we want you to be in a good place when walking into a negotiation. So there are 4 key factors that you want to look at before you start. And the first one is to get to know your market. Your market is not necessarily the market. A market can be different for in the same city for different price ranges. So you want to get with your realtor ahead of time and discuss what your specific market is going to look like. If it is a buyer's market, typically you have a little more wiggle room just because there is quite a bit of inventory and not enough buyers. So that may give you a little bit of space to wiggle. But if it's a seller's market, you may have several offers coming in on one single house. So you would not want to offer too much below. In fact, you might be having to go above asking price to nail one of those houses down. So again, get you familiar with your market, sit down with your realtor, and make sure you know specifically for not only your city, but for your price range as well. Okay, key factor number 2 is days on market. This will give you a little bit of an idea of the demand of this particular property. If the property has been on the market for a year or more, then you obviously know that the demand isn't high. This could possibly give you some wiggle room depending on the seller. If it's only been a few days, you really don't want to offer too much below asking price because you want them to actually consider it without saying, let's wait to see what else comes along. Just because a property has been sitting on the market for a while, or maybe the market is slow, doesn't mean that you just want to throw crazy numbers out there. You really want to back up your offer with real market stats, which brings us to our third key point, which is knowing your comps. You definitely don't want to overpay, but you also don't want to run your chances of a negotiation with the seller by completely offending them right off the bat with a lowball offer. So you really want to get with your realtor and look at the comps for the homes, similar homes in the area, and what they've sold for, and then adjust based on updates, quality, difference in size, features, etc. You want to use this as backup for your offer initially so that the seller knows that you are bringing real stats to the table and this is why you're offering what you're offering and that you're not just some Joe Blow trying to get the best deal of a lifetime. Key factor number 4, how badly do you want the house? This is where it gets personal. You've done the science, you've looked at the numbers, you looked at real things. Now is when you need to get personal. If your offer is rejected, would you regret not coming up in the price? If it was a perfect home for you, you've been looking for a long time, finally found the perfect home, at what price point would you be okay losing the home? If there aren't any other buyers at the time, which you may or may not know, you don't necessarily need to start at your top dollar. You really don't want to. But to know what your top dollar is before going into a negotiation is really going to help you make better and faster decisions during the negotiation. Okay? So that's it for this week's Figure It Out Friday. If you want to talk more about this and other real estate topics, let me know. We can get you on the schedule for a buyer meetup and talk more about this kind of stuff. Otherwise, make sure you're liking and following my Facebook page for more videos and tips and other fun stuff. And I will see you next week. Have a great weekend.